With the 40th anniversary here and Age of Imprisonment officially behind us, the wild era as we know it is over. But sadly, that doesn't mean that the classic formula is coming back either. Nintendo could be at this moment designing the most important Zelda game of the decade for the Switch too. So today, I'm not just sharing my wishes, I'm talking about the 5 things the next Zelda game must do. Hear me out. I know you might think weapon breaking sucks and it should go, but I'll say you feel this way because you fail to understand the purpose of this system. It forces you to think your strategy and think outside the box. However, I do agree that a repair system should finally arrive. We saw it hinted in Zelda notes, but I've never actually seen a weapon repair stat pop up on my screen. Have you? Let me know in the comments if you have. And I think the best way to make this work would be by gathering materials and rupees, of course, to earn the right to keep your favorite gear. In case you didn't know, there's actually a way to repair those weapons in Tears of the Kingdom using Octorocks in Dead Mountain. I even made a video about this, so I'll leave a card up here or a link in the description. But nonetheless, we need a real repair system in the next Zelda game. And speaking of weapons, why we can't store our stuff? Yes, I know you can display weapons in Link's house in both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but you can't do that until you have enough progress in the game. We have all been there, holding a powerful weapon that we're too scared to use because we don't want it to break.
Isn't that odd now? Yet, after all, why not? Why shouldn't I keep it?
Instead of just hanging 3 swords and 3 shields and 3 bows on a wall in our house that we never visit, how about a charismatic character that could store our weapon? I don't know, someone like Cass, who can manage a global storage chest for us. It adds personality and solves the inventory whoring problem in one shot. Call me crazy, and I can't believe I'm saying this because they're not my favorite, but where is the underwater exploration? Nintendo has the Switch 2 hardware to make this possible. Honestly, I'm not even sure why this wasn't added in the first place. Underwater exploration in the Zelda series has been a thing since 1993 with Link's Awakening. So I think it's time to let us see what's at the bottom of Lake Hylia, please. And now that we're talking about exploration, yes, let's talk about a new Hyrule. We need a Termina moment or a Koholint Island reset. I love Breath of the Wild era Hyrule, but the attempt in Tears of the Kingdom to have the Sky Islands and the depths felt a little bit lifeless compared to the surface. And you know what? Even though the caves and the wells were a bit of the same, at least those felt a bit more alive for some reason. I want a world that feels as dense and intentional as a dungeon, not just a wide open field we already memorized from top to bottom. If you were someone who didn't want to play as Princess Zelda in Echoes of Wisdom, let me tell you that you missed out on something amazing. That game finally figured out how to merge the freedom of exploration that we know in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom with the classic linear Zelda formula. Eiji Aonuma said that the classic formula is not coming back, and he is correct. It's not coming back on its own though. I'm sure the Zelda team can definitely make a beautiful merge of both worlds. Remember that feeling of excitement when you were walking down the stairs and entering a dungeon? When the music, the ambience, and the puzzles all merged together. It's just a masterpiece. Just like Hat Bergerson describes at any of his dungeon design videos. Seriously, if you haven't watched any of his stuff, I'll leave some of his videos in the pinned comment or the description. But in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, you get this. really feel that way in these games. Although I do have to mention that climbing all the way up top to getting into the Wind Temple was amazing, but you know what you have to do? You have to activate 4 terminals and that's it. Like both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom has a very similar system. It feels more like a chore than an actual treat for you to go through the dungeons. I don't really think they're even considered dungeons, to be honest, not even the shrines. So I want that excitement for a complex layered dungeon back. And finally, I think it is time for Zelda to be a playable partner in a mainline 3D game. Yes, we do have Echoes of Wisdom, but that's a top-down gameplay. It's not really a 3D like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm a Link fan, okay? Team Link all the way. But I think it will be the best time to slowly introduce Zelda as a playable character. And since it will be a little bit risky for Nintendo to do this in one go and on the entire game, I'll say slowly introducing her for a chapter or 2 of the game will do. In Tears of the Kingdom prologue, we are exploring the tunnels with Princess Zelda right next to us. That moment was peak. Wouldn't it be awesome to do something similar on the next Zelda game? Zelda producer Eiji Aonuma hinted that the next mainline game will draw inspiration from Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. He literally told us to picture the possibilities of those multiplayer mechanics while playing Age of Imprisonment. Those are my hopes, and some might be closer than we think. But what is your number 1 hope? Share yours in the comments below. And if you're still unsure whether if you want to get a Nintendo Switch 2 or not, then check out my Switch 2 unboxing video next. See you there. Bye!